So today we are going to learn how to sew shirt dress for a 4-year-old. So these are all the measurements on the screen. As I'm measuring, you understand the whole
Full
measurement.
length, the bust, the waist, the
Now the
hip, the
first thing
shoulder,
I
and the
want
arm
to do
length.
is to draw out 1 inch to serve as our borderline. So that's where all our measurements will start from. 1 inch. The full length of this gown is 28 inches, but we're going to remove 6 inches for the ruffles at the down part. So I'm just going to connect the lines together. Can you see? So that's where all our measurements are. So the first thing I want to do is to remove 2.5 inches. That would be where the button will stay. It will overlap. So I'm just going to measure 2.5 inches from the border line to the full length of the gown. 2.5 inches. It will be on fold. So I'm just going to measure my full length now, which is 23. I've already removed 6 inches for the ruffles. So the full length is 23. It's supposed to be 28. I removed 6 inches for the gathers. So it's 23. So I'm just going to draw out that 2.5 inches. Those marks, I'm going to link them together. So I've created my button hole flap. That's where my button and my buttonhole will be. Now the next thing I want to do is to measure the vertical measurement of this. So our waist is 10.5 inches. So I'm going to measure it 10.5. And I'll just measure her hips. Her hips is 16.5 inches. Just note that you can use this pattern for an adult when you want to sew a shirt dress. This style, you can also use it for an adult. So our hips is 16.5, our waist is 10.5. Then our full length is of course 23. Like I said earlier, I've already measured 6 inches away. So I'm just going to connect the dot. Can you see it? Our measurement is coming now. So I'm just going to label it for easy identification, waist and hips. So after labeling it, the next thing I want to do now is to measure the full length, which is 23. Please note, any measurement I use for the hips, I'm going to use the same measurement for the full length. So the hips and the knee, they will have the same measurement when I'm trying to impute the waist and hip measurement. Just note that. Now that I've done that, the next thing I want to do now is to impute my shoulder measurement. So my shoulder is 10.5. 10.5 divided by 2 is 5.25. So I'm just going to impute it. 5.25. So I will impute it. This code is for a girl of 5 years. So you are going to come down by 1 inches to get your shoulder slope. Sorry, the code is for a girl of 4 years. Now, to get our armhole curve, that is our bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. Before that, I'm going to fold in that 2.5 inches mark that I put out. I'm going to fold it in because we don't need it now. So you fold it in. Now after folding it now, we'll now impute our fold it in very well. Let it lay flat. Please fold it in exactly the 2.5 inches. Now after folding it in, we are now going to impute our neck. Our neck width is 2 inches and the neck depth for the front part is also 2 inches. So I'm just trying to connect it so it will form a perfect round neck. So the width is 2 inches, the neck depth is 2 inches. So I'm just going to connect from the neck to the shoulder slope, that half inches we made. I'm going to connect it. Can you see it? Now our bust measurement is 24. Divided by 6 is 5. Divided by 6 plus 1.5, that will give me 5.5. So that is where our armhole curve will come in. So now I'm going to transfer the measurement I have for the shoulder. I'll transfer it to the armhole. That's 5.25. And I'll now roll a straight line across to connect it. Just roll it straight line across to connect it. Now after doing that, I'll just extend that shoulder line measurement. I'll extend it a bit. Now our bust is 24 inches divided by 4 is 6 inches. So I will impute it. I will add 1 inch allowance, that is half inch for ease and half inch for sewing. So I add 1 inch. Our waist measurement, so I will now connect it. Just connect it. You don't really need any armhole or for a child, because when you are done you trim it. You impute your waist measurement. Is also 24 divided by 4, 6 inches. Add 1 inch to. Then your hips is 26 inches divided by 4, 6 and a half. We'll add 1 inch. I'm going to replicate the same measurement for the down part. So the hips and the knee is the same thing. 6 and a half, then 1 inch for ease. So I'm going to connect all the lines together. So now we've added both our ease and sewing allowance to the pattern for the sides. So I'm just going to cut it out now. Just gently cut it out. Can you see it? So cut it out. Remember that one half is still on fold. So just gently cut it out. So after cutting it out, I'll open it up so you can see what it looks like. Open it up gently. Can you see it? So if your pattern looks like this, you are on track. So I'll fold it back because I don't need it yet. Now I want the back to come to the front the way standard shirt usually is. So on the shoulder line, I'm going to remove 1 inches on the shoulder. If you notice shirt, the back used to come to the front. So I'm trying to create it now. So I'll remove 1 inch. So I'll connect it and just cut that 1 inch that I removed. I'll cut it out. Good. So by the time we're done, you notice that our back will come to the front. So we're through with the front. I'm just going to label it front, so it will be easy for us to identify. Now for the back, for our borderline, I'm coming down by 2 inches, not 1 inches. You will understand why I did that. So come down by 2 inches for the borderline. Just measure 2 inches and roll it across. Take your ruler and roll it across 2 inches, so not 1 inch, please, for the borderline. So now I'm going to impute my shoulder, my full length. My full length is 23 inches. Impute my waist 10 and a half. My waist 16 and a half. Then my full length is 23 inches. I'm just going to mark it, then draw it. So I'm just going to draw it across. Can you see it? Just going to draw it across. And the next thing to do is to add my shoulder measurement. My shoulder measurement is 10 and a half divided by 2 is 5.25. So I'm going to impute it. I'm going to come down by half an inch, just like this for the front, half an inch. Then for the shoulder slope, 5.5 inches. Can you see it? Connect the line together. Make sure you extend the shoulder slope a bit, so it will be easy for you. You extend it, then you transfer the measurement 5.5 you have on the shoulder. Transfer it to the bust measurement 5.25. Then connect it to the shoulder measurement. Connect it to the shoulder measurement. Can you see it? Exactly. Now you put your neck is 2 inches width and 1 inch for the depth. That is for the back. 1 inch, please. Because we are trying to do a shape. 1 inch. So I'm just trying to create a small round neck. Now we're going to do this one as well. Connect the half inch to the neck. Now we're going to inflate our waist measurement, which is 6 inches. 6 inches. And for the waist, 6 inches also. I'm marking it with zero fingers. So I'm going to measure. I'll add half 1 inch, just the way I did for the back. So I'm going to measure 6 inches with the waist too. Add 1 inch. Then for the hips, 6.5 inches. same measurement for the 6.5 inches around the back edge. Now connect everything together. After connecting it, make sure it's very good so it will be easier for you. After connecting it, I'm going to connect the armhole curve. Now our back pattern is ready. So the next thing I want to do now is to cut it out. Now before then, remember that we removed 1 inch for the front. We are going to replace it at the back now. So we're adding 1 inch. That 1 inch we remove from the front, we're adding it to the back. So you link it like that, draw it together. So we've replaced the 1 inch we removed from the front part and we place it at the back. When you are done, you will notice that the back will come to the front. So now it's time to cut it out. Can you see it? So our patterns are ready. Now it's time to transfer the pattern to the fabric. I've laid the front. Now I'm not going to add allowance to the side because I've added, but I'm going to add ½ inch on the shoulder, the armhole and the neck. Then I'm going to add 1 inch allowance to the down part. I'm not adding any allowance to the side because I've added it while drafting. So I'm just going to cut it out. Make sure it lays flat while you're cutting it. So you just cut it out. I'll do the same for the back. Before then, I'm going to open up the front. Can you see it? You will open up the front. Yes, that's how it's going to be. So now it's time to do the same for the back. As usual, we add ½ inch to the neck, ½ inch to the shoulder, ½ inch to the armhole. We're not going to add any allowance to the side. We've added it while drafting. Then we'll add 1 inch to the down part of the fabric. Now it's ready. Now I want to cut out the rough. I told you it's 6 inches that we removed. So plus 1 inch, so it will be 7 inches. So you are going to draft it. Can you see it? Just draw a straight strip. You can use your hip measurement ×4 in order for you to get the gathers at the down part of it. And that's what I'm trying to draft now. So I'm just going to cut it out. So this is how it looks. Now it's time to join it. You will lay the back pattern, this front, the right side facing you. Then you lay the right side of the front together and just hold it at the shoulder. So I'll do this. So now I've gone ahead to hold it at the shoulder. This is how it looks. Can you see it? That the next thing I'm going to use ½ inch to hold both sides together. Just ½ inch. Hold both sides together. We'll come and show you how it looks. So now I'm back. Can you see how it's looking? Our shirt is coming now. I've held the sides and the shoulders by ½ inch. So I'm just arranging it. I'm laying it flat so you see what I'm saying. Now, can you see it? It's looking beautiful. Now, the next thing we want to do now is to add the gathers to the down part. So you are going to bring your long strip of fabric that you cut earlier. You are going to bring it. You open it up. You remember that I'm just trying to measure it for you people to see. Remember when we were drafting, it was 2.5 inches we left as the allowance for shoulder, for button rather. So you are going to measure that 2.5 inch on the wrong side of that your long strip of fabric. You measure the 2.5 inches. I'm trying to look for job. So you just measure the 2.5 inches exactly. The 2.5 inches. That's the allowance for button. So you are going to mark it. Make sure they are equal. Pin it together. So this shows that when you are sewing, that's where your straight stitch will end. That 2.5 inch mark is where your straight stitch should end. After the 2.5 inch, the next thing you are going to do is gather the remaining one. So you are going to take the other side of the long strip and do the same for the other side of the shirt. pin it together and you mark your 2.5 inch also, so you will know where the button allowance will end. Mark your 2.5 inch, then you pin it together. Can you see it? Just pin it together. Good. Now you are going to go to your machine now. Sew a straight stitch from the beginning to the edge to where that 2.5 inch stop. Then from that 2.5 inch, you are going to gather it. Do the same for both sides. You are going to gather the remaining one after you got into that 2.5 inch mark. I'll do that now and show you. Now I'm done. This is how the shirt is looking. Can you see it? I've done my rough folds and you can see from the beginning the 2.5 inch is straight. Now you are going to fold in 1/2 inch at the midpoint of that shirt, that button area. You fold in 1/2 inch, then you fold in 1 inch again and just sew it down. You fold in 1/2 inch first and you fold in 1 inch again and you sew it down. So you do the same for both sides. I'll go and do mine now. Come and show you. After I was done, this is how it looks like. I went ahead to top stitch the edge. You might not need to do that, but I like doing it, but it makes the shirt look more professional and beautiful. So this is how it is. You can see that the shirt is overlapping by 1 inch by the time you put it on each other. To overlap by 1 inch. See, created our button space. Now I'm just going to trim off that excess at the neck. Trim it off. Then now after trimming it off, can you see how beautiful it looks? I'll go ahead and attach sleeves to it. Before then, for me to attach sleeve, I'm going to trim the hand. I'll trim it so it will look to align with what I want. I'm just going to trim the hand gently, then I'll attach sleeve to it. So now I've gone ahead, I want to attach the neck now. Now I've measured the long strip of fabric. The width is 1.5 inches. Can you see it? So now I'm going to measure the width of our neck, around the neck. You are going to take your tape, start from the beginning and measure around the neck. I want to know the full length of the neck. Do you understand? So just take your measure it round gently. I do know this was not showing on camera. Just measure the neck round. I hope you understand what I'm doing. Can you see it? I've measured it. So I'm going to divide it into two. So when I measured it, I got 14 divided by 2 is 7 inches. That is the half of the neck. 7 inches. Then you're going to fold your neck together and just notch the midpoint of the neck. That's like the center back. Notch it. I got 7 inches. Now I'm going to take a long strip of fabric. Do you see it? So I'm going to measure, I'm going to fold the fabric into two. Can you see it? I'll fold this into two and measure my 7 inches from the midpoint. That is the half of my neck. I'm going to mark it. I'll mark it at the top, I'll mark it at the down part. Can you see it? So I'm going to turn the fabric the other way too and do the same thing. From the midpoint, I'm going to measure the half of my neck, my round neck, which is 7 inches. I'll mark it at the top. I'll mark it at the down part. Can you see it? So now I'm going to gently notch the center point of this fabric. The center point of the fabric, I'm going to notch it. Can you see it? So I open it up. So now, I've already notched the midpoint of my neck. I'm just trying to make the chop very bold. I hope you can see it. But if you can't, just know that is your midpoint of your neck. Now what I want to do now is to hold that place that I notched together. The marked point, from that marked point, I'm going to sew half an inch to the edge of this long strip. From that mark point, I'm going to sew half an inch to the edge of this long strip. I'm going to do the same for the other side. From the mark point, I'll sew half an inch to the edge of the long strip. So I'll do that and come and show you. Sorry, so I'm done with it now. I've sewn it. This is how it looks. So I'm just going to take my pencil and turn it in. Just take my pencil and gently turn it out. Just take my pencil and gently just turn it out. Can you see it? So this is how it looks. Please don't be like me, iron it. Iron it very well. So you are going to bring your sheet now. We've already notched the midpoint earlier. We notched it. Can you see? You fold your sheet into two and notch the midpoint. I want to re-notch it again so you will see. I thought, and again, it's not showing on the camera. Just know that I notched the midpoint of the neck. So I'm going to bring my strip now. One part, is notched already. So just pin it to the midpoint of the neck. Then you sew it to the edge. If you do it right, it will stop where your sewing for the long strip stopped. That is where the neck will stop because it's the same measurement. So you sew it on the edge, half inch. You sew it now. So now I'm gonna head to sew mine on one side. Can you see it? So the next thing now, you just turn it and fold it in by half an inch. Fold it in by half an inch. And you just top stitch on it. Can you see? It is to be very, very neat. You just top stitch on it on both sides. Do it on both sides. Start from the middle. You do one side, then you go to the other side. And let me show you the end result of this beautiful gown. Now, so this is how the gown looks. Isn't it beautiful? The next thing now is for me to add buttons. I'm going to add a link of how to do snap button because that's what I want to use. So if you love this video, kindly like this video, subscribe, share. See how beautiful you have gone ahead to add the buttons. Share. Thank you. Bye bye.